Hello, you splendid folks! Today we're diving into a topic that affects us all. The disappearing middle class. It's a concept we've all heard about, but what does it really mean? From the white picket fences of suburbia to the bustling city apartments, the middle class is vanishing, and it's a topic worth our attention. Now, if you find this topic as fascinating as we do us a favor and hit that like button. It helps our channel a lot. But first, what does middle class even mean? Well, in simple terms, the middle class is a social and economic tier that falls between the working class and the upper class. It's a broad and somewhat nebulous concept, varying across countries and even within the same country over time. Generally though, it's associated with a comfortable yet not extravagant standard of living, achieved through a steady income. Traditionally, the middle class has been seen as the backbone of the economy. Why, you ask? Well, middle-class consumers drive demand in many sectors, from housing to healthcare, education to entertainment. Their spending not only keeps businesses afloat but also fuels job creation and economic growth. Moreover, the middle class plays a vital role in society. They're often seen as the custodians of values such as hard work, responsibility, and community engagement. They're the ones who tend to invest most in education, leading to a more skilled and productive workforce. Plus, they contribute meaningfully to tax revenues, which fund public services and infrastructure. Now let's get a little technical. Economists often define the middle class based on income, but there's no universally accepted range. Some use a relative approach, classifying those with incomes between 75% and 200% of the median income as middle class. Others use an absolute approach, setting specific income boundaries. However, income is just one piece of the puzzle. Other factors like education, occupation, and wealth also come into play. For instance, a family might have a middle-class income but struggle with high costs of living or debt. Or, conversely, they might have a lower income but possess substantial wealth like property or investments. To bring it all together, the middle class isn't just about income or lifestyle, it's also about aspirations for financial stability, a better future for the kids, a voice in society. These aspirations, when realized, can lead to a more prosperous and equitable society. So it's pretty clear the middle class is more than just a term. It's a crucial part of our society. Now, why do we say the middle class is disappearing? Let's delve into some facts. Picture this. You're sitting in a room with 100 people. In the 70s, you could look around and see about 61 of them were middle class. Fast forward to now, the number has dwindled to barely 50. That's right, folks. Over the past 4 decades, the proportion of middle-income households has plunged from 61% to just around 50%. But how did we get here? Well, it's a cocktail of various economic and social factors. For starters, the cost of essential goods and services has skyrocketed. Education, healthcare, housing, they've all become significantly more expensive, growing at a pace that far outstrips the growth of middle-class incomes. And then there's the wage stagnation. Since the late 70s, the wages of middle-class workers have barely budged, while those of the top earners have soared. This wage gap has steadily widened, creating an ever-expanding chasm between the rich and the middle class. But it's not just about the money, it's also about job security. The rise of automation and globalization has led to a steady decline in middle-class jobs. Think about it. Machines and cheaper labor overseas are replacing jobs that were once the cornerstone of middle-class livelihoods. And lastly, let's not forget about the wealth inequality. The rich are getting richer, while the middle class is getting poorer. The top 10% of households now own almost 70% of the nation's wealth, leaving the middle class with crumbs. As you can see, the middle class squeeze is real, and it's happening right now. Okay, so the middle class is shrinking, but what does that mean for our society? Let's unpack this. A robust middle class has always been the backbone of a thriving economy. They're the ones who buy products and services that stimulate economic growth. They're also the primary taxpayers, funding public services, infrastructure, and social programs. As the middle class shrinks, we see a decline in consumer spending. Fewer people are buying homes, cars, and other goods and services. This has a ripple effect on the economy, leading to slower economic growth and fewer job opportunities. But the impacts go beyond economics. The middle class has traditionally been the societal bedrock, a symbol of stability and upward mobility. They're the teachers, nurses, small business owners, the people who make our communities tick. As the middle class diminishes, so does the dream of upward mobility. The gap between the rich and the poor widens, leading to increased social inequality. We see more people struggling to make ends meet, less investment in education, and a decline in overall quality of life. Moreover, a shrinking middle class can lead to political instability. As income disparity grows, so does dissatisfaction and disillusionment. This can fuel social unrest and polarize societies, creating a breeding ground for populist movements and extreme ideologies. But the middle class isn't just about money. It's about values. It's about hard work, resilience, and the belief that anyone can achieve success with effort and determination. As the middle class contracts, we risk losing these values, and with them, the very fabric of our society. In essence, a shrinking middle class doesn't just affect those who fall out of it. It impacts everyone, from the wealthiest to the poorest. It affects our economy, our communities, and our values. It influences how we see ourselves and how we interact with each other. So, a shrinking middle class isn't just an economic issue, it's a societal one too. And it's a challenge we must face head-on for the sake of our future. It's not all doom and gloom though, there are solutions to this middle-class squeeze. Let's start by emphasizing the need for action from both individuals and governments. It's a two-way street, with both parties playing crucial roles in reversing the trend of the disappearing middle class. Firstly, on an individual level, financial education is paramount. Knowledge is power, after all. Understanding how money works, how to save, invest, and grow wealth can make a world of difference. It's about making money work for you, instead of you working for money. Also, the importance of skills development and lifelong learning can't be overstated. In a rapidly changing world, individuals need to constantly upgrade their skills to stay competitive. This could mean learning a new trade, mastering a new technology, or even starting a side hustle. Now let's talk about government action. One possible solution could be revising the tax system to alleviate the burden on the middle class. Progressive tax systems, where the rich are taxed more heavily than the poor, can help redistribute wealth and narrow the income gap. Another approach could be to strengthen social safety nets. This includes improving access to quality education, healthcare, and affordable housing. By doing so, the government can help ensure that everyone, regardless of their economic background, has the opportunity to move up the social ladder. Lastly, policies that promote job creation, especially in industries of the future, could help secure the middle class. By fostering an environment where businesses can thrive, we can ensure a steady stream of good-paying jobs for the middle class. But remember, these are just potential solutions. There's no one-size-fits-all answer, and each country will need to tailor its approach based on its unique circumstances. So, while the middle class may be shrinking, we're not out of options yet. Let's keep the conversation going and work together towards a more equitable society. That's a lot to take in, isn't it? We've journeyed through the shrinking landscape of the middle class, understanding its definition and exploring the squeeze that's been placed upon it. We've seen the profound impact on society, the ripple effects that touch every corner of our lives. And we've delved into potential solutions, ways we might reverse this trend and restore balance. It's a complex issue, but one that calls for our attention. For the sake of our future, we must grapple with these challenges and strive to build a more equitable society. Thanks for joining us today. Don't forget to subscribe for more enlightening videos and hit that like button if you want to help us build a wealth of knowledge. Until next time, stay curious, stay